All right, folks, my buddy just put a sweet new sound bar on his side-by-side, and I gotta tell you, every time I see him ripping around listening to music, I'm a little bit jealous. So we are gonna go ahead and try and rig up this JBL Boombox Bluetooth speaker onto the quad and see if we can figure something out. Well, before we get into it, let me just say, if you are new to the channel or if you have been around before, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. It really helps. Anyways, here I've got my JBL Boombox. I don't know if you can tell in person, these things are pretty good size. The amount of sound that comes out of them is absolutely insane. My buddy used to bring one out on a golf course that we played at a lot, and it was kind of a mountain course. So you weren't really around other groups golfing, and man, like you could be hundreds of feet away from this thing, and it's just wild how much audio came out of it. So anyways, it's a pretty beefy unit, supposed to be super waterproof and all that. So we're gonna see if we can rig it up to sit kind of up on that center seat, and I'm hoping I can tie it off kind of in between the handholds with this tie strap, ratchet strap, but we will see. Okay, now before we get too far into this, there is one giant safety concern that I have about doing this, and that is that if I've got this thing going, that means my phone is putting out a signal. Now, my phone's pretty new, so the battery is still pretty good, but we have to factor in, I mean, it's winter right now, you know, the mountains are just a gong show of snow and stuff, the days are short. You know, having your phone to be able to call for help is a huge part of this. And luckily, this Bluetooth speaker has a bit of a provision for that. The battery lasts, it's insane on this thing. It goes for 24 hours, so that's what it's rated for. You barely have to charge it, but it does have some charge ports in here. So theoretically speaking, I could have a cord that charges this off of my phone. I could also, as you can see up here, there's a 12-volt outlet. I could, you know, have a phone cord that can go to that, or the ability to charge the Bluetooth speaker off that or whatever. So, I mean, there is a bit of a backup. Okay, now in a perfect world, I could probably attach this thing to the front rack, but as you can see, I've got this rad relocate kit. The other thing is they're probably more likely to get splashed with water and mud and stuff up here. If it's sitting on this back seat, then at least I'm kind of protecting it. So as you can see by how dirty the seat is, obviously it will get hit with stuff, but I might be able to just put it in a garbage bag every time I use it, and I'm sure the audio will still come out good. So now to just kind of figure out how to hook this thing up. Now I'm really hoping that I can do this in a way that is easy to unhook and hook it back up, as well as holding it nice and secure, because it'll be behind me. So I mean, this thing's pretty heavy. I don't really want it hitting me, and I definitely don't want it falling off. These are probably $500-600 typically. I think I got this on a Black Friday for about $350 plus tax, but these things are super heavy and super expensive. The other issue is that this thing is in great shape, and I really don't want it scratched up, so I can't have this, you know, the ratcheting part of this kind of banging against it. Yeah, definitely going to be a little trial and error. Another option that would be pretty nice is to put it on top of the lid of this bin here. I don't know, this might be a bit too wobbly and stuff though, so we might just stick with the seat for now. All right, well, this is version 1.0. Definitely looks pretty sloppy. It seems like it's in there, but I mean, it just pops out of there and then bam, the thing's flopping around and probably falling off. So definitely going to be a little bit more thought required. Wow, I got to tell you, this is not going well. I've done several different attempts. I mean, this is pretty solid. It's going down to there. Kind of loops around the top backrest and then over here. Problem is, it's pulling pretty hard on this, which I don't want it to pull the whole thing apart. And then also, there's just so much flex in the seat. Like, you look at that hook. I mean, a couple of big bumps, that thing could just come flying right off of there. So Yeah, I'm gonna have to really rethink this. Okay, now I got the passenger seat removed. Next step would be to try and figure something out so it's down here. This way it wouldn't be flexing, but I think it's probably gonna get a lot more likely to get damaged, just kind of bouncing around and stuff like that. This is actually turning out to be a bit of an issue. I thought this was gonna be a complete and utter piece of cake to figure out. Okay, seat back on. I'm gonna try and tie it around these things, one over to here, one over to there. I really don't like the idea of yanking on these too much, but they feel pretty solid, so I don't know. Let's try it out, I guess. All right, well, I'm just using the strap and I ditched the ratcheting part of it. It's super solid. The only thing I don't like is that it's pushing down super hard into the seat, and this is already 17-year-old vinyl, so I mean, it's just a matter of time till that rips. So maybe I'll figure something out, put a jacket under it or a piece of cardboard or something just to spread out the load. But you know what? I think this is probably gonna work. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how loud this thing goes. I don't know if it'll be properly conveyed on video, but this thing is seriously impressive. So this kind of thing can be hard to convey on video. I imagine you could tell by the sound of my voice. It's probably a bit hard to hear that music, but I'm probably standing, 30, 40 feet away, and it is loud. It's ripping. This thing goes super loud. I can't tell that it's behind me at all. I'm not bumping into it or anything like that, so this should make a great addition on the trail. All right, folks, well, there we have it. It is connected, and I'm gonna give it a few rides and just see how it goes. I've always had this idea. Let me show you here. So this thing has the second seat that is removable. I mean, if I'm bringing somebody along as a passenger, I wouldn't have the stereo on there anyways. So I have always kind of had this idea to pull that thing right out of there, and then let me show you. Okay, so I got the speaker off of there. As you can see, it made quite the indent in the seat. This thing's already getting a little cracked up here, so I would like to find something to put on top of there, a piece of cardboard or something, just to spread that load out. But anyways, let me just pop the seat off. It's a two-handed job. All right, so as you can see, this is the seat. It's got these two pins that go down, and then this latch here. So the pins go into these two holes and the latch goes onto this bar. I think it would be kind of cool to make a little platform for back here that I could maybe mount that Bluetooth speaker a little bit better, and then also possibly have like one of those little jerry can, those Rotoform or Rotopacks or whatever, or maybe a couple of them up here, and just make a bit of an adventure pack. I love the way this quad is set up. This bin, I mean, just chock full of jackets and, safety stuff and food and all kinds of things is really nice. And then up front, the Rad Relocate is really designed for mud, but when we're in deep snow and stuff, I'm sure that helps keeping it cool as well. But it kind of leaves me with a lack of rack space. So I might make something that kind of goes down in here. Ideally, maybe I could find one of these old seats off another parts quad and just take all the mechanism and the mounting stuff and then build my own platform on the other side. But either way, that will be a project for the future. At least right now, I got some tunes on the quad, and I don't have to listen to my buddies Spice Girls and Britney Spears playlist every time we go out. So anyways, thanks for coming along. Please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.